Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Um, Today we're going to go back over independent and dependent events, and I really want to focus on what the difference is there. We've been kind of going just by our natural intuition, but I really want to make this as explicit as possible. So, independent events are events where the outcome of one event does not affect the other. So, if you are completely independent, you're not relying on your parents or your grandparents or your brothers or sisters, you're a real independent person, then other people's actions, you would say, are not going to affect you that much. Whereas if you are very dependent on somebody else, then their actions are going to affect you quite a bit. So independent events, one event does not affect the other. So keywords to look for, if you're putting things back into the deck or into the bag, flipping coins, rolling dice, all of those things are always going to be independent events, because if I flip a tails, well, I'm not guaranteed to flip a heads next. Dependent events, again, are events where the outcome of one event does affect the other. So things to look for, like if I've got 3 starburst, maybe 2 pink and an orange, if I pick 1 starburst out and eat it, well, I had a 1/3 chance of eating this one, but that's gone now. So if I want to pick another starburst, I don't have a 1/3 chance anymore. I've got a 1 out of 2 chance, because I did not replace, or I did not put back that first starburst. I ate it because it was pink, and it's the best starburst. So really look out for those keywords. If it doesn't specifically say that we're putting the item back, usually we're going to assume that those events are dependent. So let's go through here these first 4 and just identify, are these independent or dependent. So let's highlight some keywords. I'm going to flip a coin, and I'm going to roll a fair 6-sided die. So a regular dice and a regular coin. Well, if I flip a heads, does that affect my odds of rolling an even number? Well, no. So that's going to be independent. Alright, number 2. A bag contains 8 red marbles. 8 red marbles. And 4 blue marbles. I randomly pick a marble, and then pick a second marble without returning the marbles to the bag. So if I'm not putting them back, that's just like my starburst situation. I had 12 to begin with. I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I had 12 marbles, and now if I take away one of them, well, I no longer have a 1 in 12 chance of picking up another marble. I have a 1 in 11 chance now, because I didn't put that first marble back into the bag. So since that did affect my odds, that first event, I'm going to say that's a dependent event. Why don't you guys take a second, pause the video, see if you can get numbers 3 and 4. Try to highlight some keywords. So this says 3 times you randomly grab a bottle, and very, very importantly, you return the bottle to the cooler. So if you're putting it back, if I had 3 bottles, I'm not going to draw a bottle. If I had 3 bottles, I took one out, I had a 1/3 chance of getting this bottle, and I took it out, and I put it back in. So what are my odds of getting this bottle now? Well, it's still 1 in 3, so if it didn't change, that's independent. And last but not least, I've got rolling a die, and anytime I roll a die, that's going to be independent. because rolling a 6 doesn't mean that you can't roll a 6 anymore. I can roll as many 6s as I want. Not very likely, but it could happen. So let's get our probabilities down here. I flip a coin. What's the odds of getting a heads? Well, heads, probability of getting a heads is 1/2, and the probability of rolling a 1 is 1/6. So I'll multiply these odds together. I'll get 1/12. Number 2 here, a bag gets 8 red marbles and 4 blue marbles. And I'm going to, I should probably just, 8 red marbles, 4 blue marbles. I'm going to pick one out, and I'm not going to return it to the bag. So I want the probability of a red marble first. Well, I have 8 red marbles out of the 12 total. I'm going to multiply that by the probability of a blue. And again, I didn't put it back. So I got rid of 1 red marble. Now I've got 4 blue marbles, but I've only got 11 to pick from. So this is 32/132. Alright, let's look at 3. Independent events. I had 10 bottles of sports drinks total. So I want the probability of lemon lime first. Then I want fruit punch. Then I want the probability of getting fruit punch. So probability of lemon lime times the probability of fruit punch times the probability of fruit punch. Because the first time I get lemon lime, then I get fruit punch. Alright. So I had 4 lemon lime. So I had 4 out of 10 total. And I'm putting these back. I'm returning them to the cooler. So I'm going to have 10 bottles to choose from every time. The second and third time I get fruit punch. I have 3 orange and 3 fruit punch. 3 fruit punch. So 3, and then I put it back. So this would be 24/1/10,000. 1,000. That's my final answer. And number 4, I roll a fair die twice. This is independent. I roll the die twice, and I want a 5 and a 6. So probability of a 5 is going to be 1 out of 6. Probability of a 6 is also 1 out of 6. So the probability of doing both of those is going to be 1 out of 36. We've got that Zoom meeting at 10 o'clock. I really hope I see you guys there. And as always, email me with any questions you've got. Check out that spreadsheet for missing assignments. And we'll see you hopefully later today.